Every real cowboy like myself knows how lonely it is out on the open range, which is why I listen to the Cowboy Boys podcast. With best contractually obligated friends, Shayne Smith and Mac Arthur, the Cowboy Boys will comfort your soul better than any disease-ridden saloon gal ever could. Cowboy Boys.
Welcome to Cowboy Boys, episode 125. Shayne is presumed dead.
Yeah.
AWOL or missing due to tsunami warnings. He's currently surfing on the West Coast.
He is dead.
Yeah, he's probably dead. We don't know where he is.
Is it right to do the podcast laying down?
You can do the podcast laying down. There's no rules.
That's awesome.
Joining me today is Mike Abrusci.
Hi.
As a substitute.
Yes. I'm Shayne.
Yeah, he's Shayne.
I'm Shayne. Y'all ever seen Lord of the Rings?
He does love Lord of the Rings a lot.
Yeah.
Have you ever talked to him about Lord of the Rings? Do you ever
No, because I don't know anything about it.
You know zero.
I know zero. I've never read the books. I've never watched the movies. I have no particular interest in them.
None.
None.
Do you like fantasy at all?
Nope.
Do you like science fiction?
Do
you like books?
I do like books.
You like photography books?
I like. I
like books with pictures.
I
like
photography books. I like. So I think for a long time I had a thing where I would only read nonfiction.
All right.
And then I was like, well, I'm kind of depriving myself of an entire world of
but you can just make
stuff.
That. You could just make up fun stuff that's better than real life.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what. And so I started reading fiction.
You started reading fiction.
Yeah. Well, again, I read it when I was a kid and shit. But then through a lot of my 20s, I was just reading whatever nonfiction, fucking weird sociology books and like memoirs and shit like that.
Do you think something happened to you as a kid that got you into that, or you're just you were just a Benjamin Button of adult as in your brain? You came out of the womb an old man.
No. When I was a kid, I would read kids fiction books and stuff, and then something happened when I was 18 or 19. I was like, I don't like being lied to. I don't want to be lied to by books.
Yeah, I want to find the truth.
I want to find the truth. And then you realize that there's no real truth and everything is subjective.
Yeah.
And then you start reading novels again, and then you get to have fun.
Are you having fun reading novels?
Yeah, I left my book at my friend's house last night, which is annoying.
Is it a good book?
It's all right. It's a book about guys building railroads out west.
All right.
It's decent. It's just literally it's the book version of all the movies I like, which is just guys hanging out in the woods.
Guys hanging out in the woods is a great genre.
Yeah.
Usually not like the horror genre where it's
not a horror. No.
Fucking in the woods and then they get killed.
No.
Just guys camping.
It's men finding themselves in the wilderness.
Like Mountain Men. Do you like The Revenant?
I've never seen The Revenant.
You've never seen The Revenant?
No.
That's a man who finds himself and finds.
I like True Grit, stuff like that.
Okay, so do you like cowboy movies?
I've been getting more into them, because I just haven't really watched them that many, but I started watching they have a bunch of
spaghetti westerns
westerns and just regular westerns.
Dude.
It's easy to find random ones of those because it's
so
there's 9,000 of them and
I think that's why they don't make them anymore. So they pumped out 9,000 back in the 70s, and they were all so poor quality. But because there were so many, there was a couple that were just phenomenal.
Yeah.
I say The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is top 2-3 movies ever made.
Yeah, I'm trying to find.
Just the pacing is wild. It's almost a perfect movie.
I watched a really good cowboy movie last year. Let me try to find it.
So I would say the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Then all the other, what are they? Is the director Sergio Leone or
Sergio Leone? That's No, Sergio Leone
He did the music.
No, Sergio Leone is Fistful of Dollars.
He did the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Oh, that's what? Who did the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly? That was him.
Probably. Let's find out.
You got into cowboy movies.
Yeah, it's Sergio Leone.
Sergio Leone. I like that genre doesn't exist anymore.
No, not really.
They made way too many movies and they're like, no more. We're done.
I mean, I watched The Power of the Dog that came out end of 2021 on Netflix.
The Power of the Dog.
And that's kind of a Western. It's Benedict Cumberbatch and Kirsten Dunst and Jesse Plemons, and it's really good. I like it a lot.
Are you type of like out like men in the wilderness movie where there's just no talking?
Dude, I love a movie where there's no talking. It's insane how much I like a movie where there's no talking.
It's just a guy doing his chores, trying not to die,
dude,
for like the first 30 minutes, and then someone shows up, and then it's like, ugh.
Dude, I swear to God, I just watched a movie. Oh, Bad Day at Black Rock.
Okay.
Is like 1955 cowboy movie.
All right. That'd be fun to do a podcast like that. Just no talking for the first 30 minutes. You just hear cling, 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 like just all us just doing chores for the first 30 minutes.
Dude.
A lot of people complain about this podcast's intro being a little like that. It's like a full minute intro.
Oh, that's too long, yeah.
I'm like, nah, you skip it. Use the skip button.
Yeah.
You can suffer through a minute.
But
we only have to do 59 minutes of podcast now.
That's true.
That adds up over the years.
Yeah. But I just watched a 3.5 hour long movie that's mostly a woman doing chores.
What's that?
It's called the Americanized version is just called Jean Dielman. It's like a bunch of shit in French. Because the movie's in French.
She just does chores?
Jean Dielman, 23 Quai de Commerce, 1080 Brussels. It's like her whole address.
1080? That sounds like a torrent link.
Yeah.
Like
no, I know. It's like
Giphy, RIP, ACC.
Yeah.
That's the name of the movie.
Yeah, that's the whole movie. It's literally just the woman's full address. But it's like,
is that a real address?
I'm sure it is.
That'd be fun to like have like live there and then have the DVD like in the window. Like,
hey,
we live here. It's the like all the people who buy like the famous homes.
Yeah, like the Amityville Horror House and shit.
Yeah,
I've driven past that so many times. It's like right by where my mom lives.
Really? Over Long Island?
Yeah, Amityville Horror House is like 2 towns over from where my mom lives.
I would love to live in a movie house, but I would love to live in a murder house more. For just so it's like cheaper.
Yeah.
I like not like a high profile murder
just
where
any murder house.
Other weirdos like me are like, that's the Manson thing, or it like drives up the price. I like a normal murder house where people were murdered in that, so they will knock off $20,000-$30,000.
Yeah, because
ghosts don't affect me.
No, you don't care about ghosts. You don't believe in the afterlife.
I don't know what I believe. I don't know.
You're not bothered by apparitions.
No, they don't bother me.
Okay,
they don't spook me.
Yeah.
Where if they showed up, I'd be like, hey, if you could like hold off your haunting till after I'm done jacking off.
Yeah, and then haunt away.
Then I'll pay attention to you. But right now I'm kind of busy.
Do you think if you had a ghost that was haunting you, you would eventually just become friends with it?
No.
Or do you think you would become more like coworkers, like a coworker situation?
It would be a coworker situation, and then like where I think the ghost would start to resent me for not giving it the energy that it requires to.
The ghost would be like, "What's this fucking guy's problem?"
Yeah, I think ghosts have probably been sent to me, like problematic ghosts have just been like, I don't know where to, go haunt Mac, and I just don't even notice them.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care. I'm playing video games right now.
Yeah, you're too busy looking at both of your computer monitors.
Yeah,
to notice a ghost.
That's very funny that someone who's so into movies and aesthetic and photography, you don't have a giant PC with 2 computer monitors to look at photos and movies at the same time to edit to color grade your pictures.
I don't like editing my photos that much.
You don't. You just like the raw, whatever comes out as it lays.
Yeah, it depends. I will edit them sometimes, but I try to do the least amount of editing possible.
And how do you edit? Just like the Windows, the MS Paint,
Photoshop.
You just so you got a Photoshop.
Yeah, I Photoshop. I wish I had Lightroom, but I got it free.
Dude, use my Lightroom.
That's true. I could use. I got an Adobe key for free.
Ooh.
But it just didn't have Lightroom in it for some reason. So like it has Photoshop, it has Illustrator, it has Premiere. I just don't have
all the 40 other apps.
It has everything except Lightroom, the one I really would like to use.
Adobe's such a fucking scam because they're like, hey, if you pay us $15, you can use 1 program, and if you pay us $30, you can use 2 programs. But if you pay us $60, you can use all 40 programs, and it's like I need 4 programs.
I need 4 of them.
I don't.
Just let me do this for
let me use the 4, and so I hate Adobe so much.
Yeah, dude, it's so fucked because it's like you're just like chain, and it's like if you do almost any kind of creative thing that involves a computer, you're kind of chained to them.
Yeah, you gotta. I edit a lot of the stuff we do on the podcast with Adobe bullshit products, but
Yeah.
they just work, except they don't work.
Yeah.
It sucks that all the free alternatives. It's also like when you learn a language, you learn Japanese, but then all the opportunities are in Chinese, and you're like, "Fuck, I already know Japanese.
Yeah. Fuck me. Yeah.
I'm not gonna relearn."
Dude, that's like there's this It's so funny that the program is called GIMP.
Yeah, it's the
It's
open
free
source
Photoshop
Linux version.
Yeah,
It sucks.
It sucks so bad.
And
But-
people are like, "No, it's good." It's like,
No, you're lying.
There's
'Cause,
better versions.
Because I used to do all of the podcast artwork on GIMP before I got the Adobe key, and it's insane how much better it looked immediately when I started using Photoshop.
Yeah.
Like, just it was like, oh, for some reason you just save everything pixelated.
This is why I used to be an Android guy because I'm super into like tech stuff, and
Yeah,
I finally switched over to iPhone this year, and I'm like, oh yeah, I don't need the 400 extra like useful features that I use once a month. I just like that I can send a video to my friend and it works.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm old, I'm stupid now. Just fucking do the one thing good, and I don't care. Where GIMP is probably more powerful, more like whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like
But I don't need it. I don't need it.
I don't need it right now.
No.
How did you get into photography and stuff? When did you start doing that?
There's been like waves of it where I kind of started when I was a kid, like when I was like a teenager.
Do you remember your first photo?
Ooh, no. I remember like rolls of.
It wasn't on like a Razor phone or
No. It was on like disposable cameras.
Okay, yeah.
I would shoot on disposable cameras a lot.
Like 8 years old, 10,
No,
12?
probably like 12, 13, like when I started like skateboarding and getting into like punk and like hanging out with people like all the time. Like, it's so funny to be like, I wasn't hanging out with, I had like friends like outside of my block and my family and stuff. But
this is pre 2007 where kids would hang out with each other on the street.
Yeah.
I would just go like meet the neighbor. I didn't know their names, bro. I mean, I was just like, hey, you want to hang out? We hang out every night. Good times.
Yeah. But I had like, so I would just like have disposable cameras and I would like take pictures of whatever, people hanging out and my friends skateboarding and shit. And then,
do you still have photos from like way back then?
I have like 1 or 2 sets of prints from like me being like 12 or 13, and they're not very good, but they're fine.
It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, but they're cool. Yeah,
I have like a box of all my old web comics I used to make.
Oh yeah,
and I look at them like, damn, these are dog shit, but I can't throw them away.
No, of course not.
Just in case.
It's part of your progression as an artist.
Well, it's also when I die, I want someone to discover them, and so they can be embarrassed for me after I'm dead.
Oh,
I want them.
That's funny because I thought you were gonna be like, I want them to be like revered posthumously.
No, I want them. If I'm dead, I don't care what people think about me.
Yeah.
Which is a big, like...
Yeah, of course.
But I would like to have the emotion of secondhand embarrassment
to
give someone that after my death.
That's so fucking funny.
Just going through all my stuff. Which is like... People are like, delete my browser history when I die. I'm like, no, release my browser history. I want everyone to be like, oh, what the fuck?
Show everyone all the tabs I have open on my phone. It's
exactly.
bad.
Release.
It's not even bad. It's just like dumb and weird.
I need to create a dead man switch that just has all my nudes. just so when I die,
they all go out there.
They just all go up, and I'm like, I'm dead. Look at my penis.
Fuck it.
It just sends it to all my family members too.
Yeah,
they're the first ones to get it.
That's so.
Here's my asshole.
Here it is. But like prime.
That's how you find out
the
I
best
die.
years. You have to take like the best picture of your asshole ever.
Oh yeah.
And like have like the fucking like really nice, crazy high megapixel digital camera.
So like something I could put on a giant portrait in a museum.
Dude, you have whatever they used to shoot like billboards and shit,
Yeah.
like the fucking huge sensor digital cameras,
and just have one of those, and that's the first image you see in the
rolls,
email.
You somehow have it. It rolls down the side of a building. It's like fucking 10 stories high.
I've thought about how like because people save up for like their grave plot or whatever.
Yeah,
they pre-buy grave plots so
yeah.
it's not a burden on your family. Where I'm like, I don't give a shit about that. I would rather save up for like a tombstone.
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, I don't even need a plot. I would like a tombstone somewhere.
Yeah.
Like a big, like a dragon or like a demon or something sitting, or like he's driving a race car. Maybe he's like on the computer, doing something weird, just
something
a unique.
Cool.
Have you ever seen like Russian tombstones?
Yeah.
Where like the gangsters, and it's like that. It's like polished slate, but then it's engraved, so it's like a photo in the rock of the person doing something, and they'll be like playing Counter-Strike.
That's
or
like
they'll have like a gun.
Yeah.
And I want something like that, but like 3D.
Oh.
And I'm like, yeah, just
like have you ever seen Johnny Ramone's grave?
No, what does he got?
So it's like from the waist up playing guitar.
Oh, that rules.
Like him at his like coolest age, whatever.
Yeah.
Like 32, playing in the Ramones, wearing a leather jacket, playing guitar.
That's exactly.
It's so sick, right?
That's what I'm going for.
Yeah.
Just like, and so I'm like, I don't even need a grave plot. Don't even bury me. Don't even cremate me. Throw me in a dumpster. Donate my body to medical science.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whatever, the government buys me and launches bombs at me and sees one of those situations. I don't care. I do want to leave like a statue somewhere.
So, but it doesn't even have to be in a cemetery.
It doesn't have to be in a cemetery. It doesn't even have to be like in a population. I think it's cooler to have like a statue of yourself in the middle of a forest.
I think the coolest,
or top of a mountain.
There's like a
somewhere where no one goes.
There's this thing I'm obsessed with that I still want to go take I haven't taken a picture of it yet.
Yeah.
I just don't have like a camera. I mean, I don't have a car to like go and drive myself to get there. But there's a cemetery up by my mom's house, and they have like an adjacent field, like all fenced off.
It's just an empty field?
It's an empty field except for a like 6 foot tall statue on a pedestal of Jesus with his arms stretched out.
Okay, that's cool.
Just in the middle. So it's like obviously like, oh, when the cemetery fills up here, they're gonna put grave sites here also. But it's just not. They just haven't filled up the other spots in the cemetery.
Yeah.
But it's just like this huge fenced in 6 foot tall Jesus, and like it looks so insane to just have this statue in the middle of a field right next to the train tracks.
It'd be so fun to be the guy that has to mow that lawn every couple of weeks, and he's just got to go mow the Jesus lawn. And you're just staring at him, being like, I'm sorry about what I Googled the other day. Don't judge me, Jesus statue. You have to like turn down your heavy metal music while you're mowing the lawn.
Yeah, you turn off the Metallica.
I'm like, hey.
Sorry. Dude, like the Johnny Ramone grave.
Yeah.
If you go there, there's so many like women will just like put on lipstick and like kiss it. And all this shit. It's like so cool. There's a picture of me. Like I very rarely like to take like, oh, I'm doing a touristy thing and here's a picture of me, but there's a picture of me next to
That's cool.
The Johnny Ramone.
I wouldn't
grave.
say that's touristy if it's like someone that you enjoy.
Yeah.
It's like the people who go take pictures at the stock exchange bowl.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. But then the people who go around the back and take a picture of them touching the balls, I'm like, okay, that's fun. That's fun thing.
Dude, I hate both of it.
You hate both?
I hate both. It makes me because you know what? I don't hate the picture of the people holding the balls as much as I get sad watching people wait in line.
Oh yeah.
Like I have a lot of pictures actually of the line of people getting ready to touch the balls.
This is one of my favorite things to do at museums when there's like famous photos is take a picture of the person taking a picture of like Starry Starry Night or the Mona Lisa or something.
Dude, yeah.
And it is very funny to be like, there it is. If you look closely at that guy's photo, I would love someone to like take a picture of me.
There's like I've seen beautiful photos of like people photographers taking pictures of people's phones taking pictures of the Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
And shit.
Which is also just hack, but less hack than what the people taking the photo.
Yeah.
It is very funny to take a photo of a museum painting.
Yeah.
It's like there are better photos online.
Oh, so many better photos.
I saw a bunch of people taking selfies with Starry Starry Night. It's like
so funny.
Yeah. It's like, no, you didn't see Starry Starry Night, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh, guess what I got?
That's what I got.
Pull up your phone. Like he's gonna eat his words.
There are some. It is funny because I'm like, it is like theoretically it is dumb to take pictures of stuff in museums. It's like famous stuff.
Yeah.
But then sometimes I go to museums and I still take photos of stuff just so I can like, because there's some artist stuff that isn't available online. This like they don't have the exhibitions online and you can't find all this stuff on there.
So like a statue or
like the guy Raven Pettibon, who's like the guy who did all the Black Flag art.
Okay.
He had like a show at the New Museum a couple years ago, and it was huge.
What's the New Museum?
Oh, that's the name of the museum. It's like it's called the New Museum.
What happens when they built
another museum? They're fucked.
And they're just the museum.
They're just the museum. Yeah, they're the museum formerly known as the New Museum.
Dumbasses.
Yeah. That's every episode of this is just called the New Podcast. But it's like, but they had a bunch of shit like sketchbook stuff or like big things that have never been like
released,
or just like or paintings, like because he did like, he's like a fine artist also, so he had all these huge paintings that had never been like shown online or anything because they were just for like galleries or museums. So I'm like, oh, I want to like look at this again.
Yeah, you're the only guy that has that photo.
Yeah, but it's like taking a picture of the Mona Lisa from fucking 200 feet away is like stupid
on your dumb iPhone.
Yeah, and you're like because it's weird because it's like everything gets lost in the photo in exchange of looking at it like in real life.
Yeah, that is especially digital photos if you want to get like really autistic and Quentin Tarantino about it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
How do you? Because you take. So what do you take photos with? Because you take digital. You take not digital. You I take disposable. Film. You take disposable cameras.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
No, I don't use disposable. I use.
Yes, you do, because you took disposable cameras when we went surfing.
No, that's a 35mm point and shoot. That's not a disposable.
Oh, I thought you had a disposable.
No, I just have a very little, like pocket-sized camera.
Oh, okay. My bad.
No, it's okay.
Disposables are still fun though, right?
Disposables are fun, especially for like events.
Yeah.
Like if you do a thing where like, it's kind of cheesy. I don't even think it's that cheesy actually. But if you like at a wedding where they just have like disposable cameras on each table and they're like take a bunch of pictures and then just drop the cameras in this box at the end of the night.
It's funny because before digital cameras were like a thing and smartphones and everything.
Yeah.
People did not like that harsh flash photo, but as like cell phones and like became like the normal camera, that like that harsh flash disposable look is almost like a nostalgic and like sought after sometimes.
It is, and it was popularized by what's his name that got canceled? Terry Richardson.
Terry Richardson,
that was his.
So he's very dude,
he's like as much as he is canceled and did like
what, he put his penis in some models' mouths?
Yeah, he sexually assaulted some women.
It's crazy how every celebrity has like a photo of Terry Richardson.
Yeah,
even
because he was the most like for a decade or so. He was like the cool photographer, and he like popularized that style of photography.
The harsh flash.
The harsh flash kind of party. Like him shooting, like the camera that I shoot on and the camera that he would shoot on sometimes, like literally like high fashion shoots are not terribly dissimilar.
Okay.
Like he would shoot on a Contax T2, I think, or a Yashica T4.
I have no idea what those are.
Those are just different, those are like higher end, but still like point and shoot, 35mm cameras. So they're not like crazy, like they're not like medium or large format cameras where it's like, oh, you have an 8x10 negative and it's super high quality. Like you could blow this up and put it on a billboard. He's like, it's basically a really nice disposable camera.
Okay,
like,
interesting.
But like. Yeah, or just shooting with like older film cameras with like big flashes and just that like washed out white background, a lot of flash, not a lot of retouching on the photos. Yeah. Like that's kind of his whole thing. It was his whole thing. I mean, he still shoots photos. He's like Roman Polanski, where he does a lot of stuff in France.
That is so funny.
Yeah,
how France is like just a place where people go to. You're uncancelable if you live in France.
Yeah, they're like, would you sexually assault a woman? How old was she? And you're like, I don't know, 22. They're like, I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, like there's that's the director of The Fifth Element and Leon the Professional and everything.
Yeah,
because like people get canceled in America for legit like awful things, and then they go to France, and then Luc Besson lives in France, and he was getting canceled in France.
That's him, dude. Getting canceled in France,
getting Me
Too'd
in France.
That's like next level.
And so it's just like whatever he did, he should be in jail.
Yeah, that's really bad. But yeah, like Terry Richardson was shooting for like French fashion magazines like last year.
No, good for him.
Yeah,
stay in France, you weirdo.
Yeah. I say that as I'm wearing like an outfit that he would wear.
You look like a hipster, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
That's a style. Better than no style, where I'm just like, I'm starting to wear just shirts fans send me.
Yeah,
that's my style. It's so funny to like crowdsource,
dude.
your clothing.
It's so funny.
I love it.
I
love it. It actually like
really
because when I go shopping. I think I have like a little bit of residue of like shopping with my mom where I'm just like, I want to get out of here.
Okay, yeah.
I'm 8. Let's leave.
You should get into uniform dressing.
The uniform dressing.
Yeah, well, like uniform dressing is like, oh, I have
like a school uniform.
or no, whatever Mac's uniform is. So you're like,
like
I
a
have
comic book character.
Yeah, I have 6 pairs of the same black pants. I have 10 of the same white shirt.
I do that already, but I just wear the same pair of pants.
Yeah.
Day.
I'm saying, but if you do this, the pants won't have a big hole in the crotch, and then you don't have to worry about that. I think about doing it sometimes, but I like clothes too much.
Yeah, you're very fashionable.
But I like the idea of
having an iconic style.
Yeah, but because not in the way of like the kind of tech CEO thing of like
they all wear that Patagonia sleeveless jacket,
or just like Steve Jobs wearing the same turtleneck and jeans and thing every day because it's like, well, it's one less decision I have to make. Blah, blah, blah. It's like
decision fatigue.
Yeah. It's like fucking put a gun in my mouth. But I'm like, I think it is cool to be like, oh, that's Mike. He every single like what's his name? Jason Mantzoukas does it. Every time you see him in real life, he's wearing the blue jeans and a white Oxford button up.
Oh yeah,
and some kind of like black leather shoe, and like that's all you ever see him in.
Yeah, it's a good. I mean, if you can do it, but I like my way. Crowdsourcing
your.
If you want to send me a shirt, I will probably wear it.
Oh yeah,
it's funny because some people send me some of my favorite shirts are what people sent me, and some of like my least favorite. But then I'm like, oh, that one's so stupid. And then I'll like catch myself wearing the stupid shirt.
Yeah,
and it'll grow on me.
Yeah,
and like,
that's funny.
Oh, it's so bad that I love it in an ironic way now.
Yeah. I gave you a bunch of clothes though.
I do, and they're too fashionable for me. I put them on, and I don't feel like me.
That's so funny.
Like if I wear a button-up shirt, I'm just like, like something feels off. I'm very comfort oriented.
Yeah, I give you that sweatshirt though, that crew neck sweatshirt.
I do like that.
Yeah,
but I'm a big hoodie guy.
Yeah, that is the thing. I do like, especially like in the house. I love having a hoodie and just like pulling. It's so funny because I'll like have the hoodie pulled really tight, and people will be like, "Are you all right?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine. This is just very comfortable."
I'm just autistic.
Yeah.
I like being swaddled.
Yeah,
I want to.
Or I do a thing where like I'll have a t-shirt or like a crew neck on, and I just like have it over. I put it over my nose.
I think that's
just like sit there.
That's a subconscious fat guy thing. I do that a lot too.
Oh really?
Or I'm like hiding my chins.
Oh maybe.
I'm just like don't. I'm skinny.
Yeah, don't worry about
it.
I'm skinny. I'm actually super skinny.
I'm skinny from the chin up.
Yeah. I'm actually super skinny. Do you ever think of a? Okay.
No, I don't.
Okay, perfect. No, but like so in regards to your dating profiles on your dating apps.
Yeah.
Do you think your photos accurately show how fat you are?
No, but that's intentional.
Yeah. You want to look thinner on your dating profile.
I don't want to a lot. I have noticed some people will start off with it. You always start off with your best photo.
Of course.
I don't think it's a bad thing because we're all dating, like Tinder, for example, is what we're talking about. The main thing, Hinge, all the ones. If you're on fucking Plenty of Fish and OkCupid, reading paragraphs about something,
brutal.
You have different problems in your life. Yeah. But for like a Tinder, which is like I think 75% hookup, 25% dating, whatever.
Yeah.
It is like, here is the best version of myself because you only have a tenth of a second to make an impression on someone.
Yeah.
And then after that, they can dive a little deeper, and then you can show like, actually, I'm like 15 pounds heavier. And they're like, oh, you know what?
Whatever. Yeah.
They still get to show,
but
I have like photos of me from like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I fluctuate like.
Yeah.
I can fluctuate like 30 pounds up and down.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So there's some good ones, and you got to put your best foot forward. And then, as a man, I feel like I can show up a little fatter and then win you over with my personality.
Yeah.
But also as a shallow man, I'm just like, oh man, I don't.
Yeah, because there was even like
I am very hypocritical when it comes to dating. Because don't call me out on it.
No,
I know. Not. I don't care.
There was the thumbnail that you posted of the older episode of you guys with Udoye. And that's not even that long ago. And I'm like, you look like so much thinner now than in that photo.
Really?
I think so.
It's funny because in that photo, I just have like my gut is very protruding.
Yeah.
And I've been getting a lot of compliments lately of people being like, you're in really good shape. I'm like, I'm just as fat as ever.
It's just distributed differently.
I think it might be a little more. I might be like 5 pounds lighter on fat and 5 pounds more muscle.
Yeah.
It is wild how, because a lot of people get obsessed with weight.
Yeah.
And weight is not what it. You can be 250 pounds of muscle and just be
and look unbelievable.
Just have one of the like an Arnold Schwarzenegger body, or you could be 190 pounds and be fat.
Yeah. Dude, my favorite
which is two different.
Yeah. My favorite thing is like finding out like an athlete weighs more than me and being like, I'm doing fine.
Oh,
and
like
then I'm like, oh yeah, of course. Yeah, of course LeBron James is 260 pounds.
Yeah, he's like
he's
6'7".
He's 6'8", and he's fucking shredded.
It's also funny when you like look at an athlete and they're like, oh, he's at the end of his career. He's 24 years old.
Yeah.
They're like, I can still turn it around at 32.
No, dude. I mean, you can turn it around in a way.
I told you, I'm gonna get on Adderall, TRT,
and go vegan.
And I'm gonna go vegan. If I do those 3 things in 2022 to 2023, it's gonna be insanity.
It's gonna be a fucking tsunami of pussy for you, and that's how. And then I'll be replacing you. It's just me being Diego. Recording this podcast, recording your podcast because Shayne died in the tsunami surfing, and you died under a mountain of pussy.
I died from a
testosterone overdose.
I don't think steroids are that bad for you. They do fuck up your system if you do them wrong. But I think what happens is all the people who do steroids fuck up their bodies and then get on pain pills and then die, which is what I'm gonna do. I don't have a pain pill tolerance. I've never gotten into any opiates or anything.
I have only ever taken them like
for like a dentist. Like they give
like
you
I got Vicodin after I got my wisdom teeth taken out.
Yeah. I couldn't take them when that happened.
Dude, no.
It makes me vomit like
so that's the thing that some people get. Like,
I'm just like, I'll rather just give me 12 Advil and 4 Tylenol.
Dude,
that works better than whatever.
I took all of those Vicodin that were prescribed to me. And really? I was like, because I was like, I get it.
Oh,
I understand. I have the get addicted to pills gene inside of me for sure.
Yeah.
Because I did that, and then before I got eye surgery, they gave me Valium.
Okay.
Because you have to be awake.
Well, they zap your lasers in your eyes?
Yeah, because they fucking Clockwork Orange you and hold your eyeball open.
Fun. How do you? Then they're like, don't look anywhere or we'll fuck it up.
No, so what happens is they
look
put
at a dot?
No, they put your head in like a clamp kind of like not a clamp, but like a thing to hold it, and then they hold open your eye so you can't blink, and then they cut open the lid with like basically like a cigar cutter.
I love I love medical videos on YouTube. It's so just like
dude, but this is how I knew. So they gave you Valium before so you don't freak out, and I loved it. And I was like, ooh, I was there with my dad because I was like 17. Yeah. I was like, Dad, check me out. Look at me.
No video?
But no.
That's
so
funny. One of my favorite genres of video is teenagers on high amounts of drugs talking to their like parents.
Yeah.
Or like hitting on nurses.
Yeah. But for some reason in the waiting room at the eye place, they had a flat screen TV that was showing you other people getting the eyeball surgery.
Oh, that should calm you down.
Yeah, but I think it was almost a thing to be like, oh, we put them on the Valium, and if they don't freak out when they see this, they're good.
And were you like, whoa.
I was literally like, I put my arm around my dad. I was like, Dad, check it out. Look at that. That's going to be me. And he was like, yeah, okay, man, whatever. And I'm like, it's cool. Surgery. I'd never had surgery before, so I was like, yeah, let's fucking go.
Was your dad stoked? Was he playing along, or was he
I think
by the books?
No, I thought he thought it was funny.
Okay.
Like, he was like, oh, it's goofy that my son's acting like this silly.
You do get a free pass.
Yeah, and my dad's not like, could never be described as like strict or he's like a silly guy.
Okay.
So he just thought it was funny.
I remember getting all the whatever they gave me at the dentist, and this is when I was working at a machine shop, and all my coworkers like, you got those still? You wanna give? I gave them to them.
Yeah.
And I love. They told me they would just drink. They'd knock back a 6-pack and take one of those and get fucking wasted.
Yeah, dude.
I'm like, that's how people die.
Yeah.
I mean, good for you if you know what you're doing, but not for me.
I'm gonna say this on the recording. I definitely didn't pay my rent 1 month because I had a little bit of an anxiety attack at my mom's house.
Okay.
And she may or may not have had Klonopins.
Okay.
Which are anxiety medications.
Yeah, I'm familiar. I date BPD girls.
Yeah.
I love.
And
they all take Klonopin.
Yeah. So my mom gave me one when I was having like an anxiety attack, and then gave me a bunch.
I think those are hard to get off of if you've been taking for a while.
I bet they are. But I don't think she took them that much.
Just whenever you get like a little stress.
Yeah. Whenever you start like really freaking out, like kind of get panicky. But that may or may not, no, probably not, gave me a bunch just in case.
Okay.
To be like, here, take these just in case. But then I never took them again, except for one time. I thought it would help me sleep because I had a fake tooth that my body was like rejecting.
Oh,
like
shit.
started pushing it out of my head.
Tooth pain.
So I was like, I couldn't sleep, and I was like fucking losing my mind. And I took like 3 Klonopin to try to sleep, and it didn't work. But I may or may not have paid my rent by not selling the ones that my mom gave me to people. Didn't do that.
Okay.
Yeah. But if we didn't,
I'm glad you got your rent paid.
Yeah. Not this is like a long time ago.
Yeah. Dude, people. It's look. You're talking to Libertarian Mac.
No, I know. I'm just saying it in case anybody in any law enforcement or anything like that hears me.
This is Cowboy Boys. We put a fatwa on the Queen of England, and it's about to come to fruition. she's whoever calls that in, we're gonna reward you. You'll have 72 virgins in Cowboy Heaven.
I have an odd. I guess not that odd. I guess it's only 2 things because I have this artist I like. Somebody did a bootleg of one of his shirts, and it has the Queen of England on it.
Yeah,
and then God damn it.
No, you're good.
And then in the 70s, a soccer team from England stayed with my grandparents just because they're nice people. And as a present, it's like a metal, a steel serving tray kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or if we smoked weed, we'd definitely use it as a rolling
Hell
tray.
Yeah.
But of the I guess in 77 it was the 50th anniversary, or was it the Queen's 25th or 50th?
Her 75th anniversary because she's so fucking old.
Yeah. So it's like that, and it's her and Prince. It's a drawing of her and Prince Charles together, and I have it up in my room. And it's just a cool looking thing, but I'm like, oh, I don't give a shit about the Queen. I just think this is cool, and it was my grandparents.
No, there's something very punk rock about taking established, very proper, political figures or royal figures and just being fucking putting devil horns on them or something.
Yeah, it's
stupid.
That's
classic punk.
Yeah, that's literally the Sex Pistols logo.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Queen with the Sex Pistols across her eyes.
Damn, got her ass.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna do Joe Biden, and it says Cowboy Boys.
Yeah. And that's it. Yeah, got him. Yeah. Yeah.
The Sex Pistols.
Yeah.
That was probably the wildest thing you could come up with
Dude,
back then.
Yeah. And it's God save the Queen.
A gun and sex? Oh women
God.
are fainting. Their mothers looking at that.
He has spikes on his what? Belt?
I don't respect old. It was so much easier to be an edgelord just even 10 years ago.
Yeah.
10, 20. So when it comes to Eddie Murphy Raw, and people are that's my favorite special, I'm like, I guess it's good for the time,
but
people are it's there's been 30 years of wild comedy specials.
Yeah, it's
for that. I'm not saying it's not good, and I love to watch it, but when people are that's my favorite one,
you're
I'm
nothing since then.
I'm okay, so it's like my dad listens to 3 bands.
Mm-hmm.
He listens to Styx, Led Zeppelin, and I'm the one that introduced him to Rush. Which is absolutely wild. I'm 18 in the 2000s and be like, so you listen to 2 bands. Do you listen to Rush? He's like, what's that?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Why am I explaining to my dad?
And you also give your dad a copy of The Fountainhead.
Yeah. he's
if you like this, if you like Rush, you're going to love this fucking book, my friend.
Dude, I should listen to Rush and read Fountainhead at the same time.
I think you would become the ultimate incel.
No, this libertarian.
Libertarians
aren't incels. We all have beautiful Asian wives that we ship over.
Yeah.
Every single libertarian guy who lives and breathes that stuff, they all have an Asian wife. I want to be the first with a Russian mail order bride.
Yeah, man, I believe in you. I think you can do that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
dude, I hate libertarians so much.
It's
as a libertarian,
as one. Yeah.
You're just you don't get it. I'm better than you.
Yeah,
I understand the text.
Do you have a pocket constitution?
I don't have a pocket constitution.
Interesting,
because that's for constitutionalists.
Okay, and that's a different arm of libertarianism.
I would say right wing kind of weirdos.
Okay,
because constitutionalists is what my dad was for a little bit, and they are they believe that the Constitution of the United States was bestowed on by God.
They think it's like the
as,
Ten
like,
Commandments.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a sacred text.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, okay, but the like Bill of Rights exists.
Yeah.
And this is where people like, well, the Second Amendment was when everyone had a musket and stuff, and I'm like, okay, sure. All that was written 250 years ago by old guy, but it's pretty good. I'm not saying it's infallible and like God's
of course
word,
not.
so I'm not gonna have like a metal constant. But there's like a few of those things where I'm like, the Fourth Amendment, don't look at me, cops.
Yeah.
So there's like some of it where like someone's like, oh, we could amend some of these things.
Yeah.
We should make it easier for everyone to get guns. Obviously,
Yeah.
we should have 2 Second Amendments. Just print the Second Amendment twice.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
the Second Amendment after every other amendment.
Yeah.
I would like
It's called
that.
the Second Amendment because it's right after every other amendment.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
guns are still. Everyone needs guns.
Yeah. They're just added into all of them. They're like, listen, you have the right to refuse any military personnel from sleeping in your home, and also you should be able to get a gun whenever you want.
Women are allowed to vote, and women are allowed to carry guns.
Yeah, and guys too.
Yeah, it's how about
Non-binary people can have guns. Everyone can have a gun.
Everyone should have a gun. That was one of my favorite. My dad used to subscribe to NRA Magazine.
Yeah.
Which is very funny that the NRA Magazine back in the early 2000s would have like advertisements to gay men. And they would like have pink guns, and it'd be like, "This gay doesn't get bashed," and he was like holding a pistol, and it's just like the NRA could, if they weren't like obviously poisoned from the inside, could like be like when the Black Panthers and stuff show up, be like, "Fuck yeah, with love."
They should have fucking guns too.
Black people, gay people, everyone, guns.
Yeah, because it's this weird thing where. Like, it's just funny because somebody asked us if if Diego and I have changed our stance on the Second Amendment since we moved in with you and Shayne.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
have
I'm like,
you?
No, because I didn't.
What was your original stance?
I don't oppose the Second Amendment.
Okay.
I think people should be able to have guns.
Yeah.
I mean,
do you think they thought you didn't, or
I think they just thought we were like. I think they just thought that you guys are very pro-gun.
Oh, extremely.
And they think we're kind of like New York City liberal pussies,
yeah,
which isn't entirely false.
Yeah.
I am a New York City liberal pussy, but I also think that I once ruined a date by yelling in a cab about how the left should arm themselves because the right is never going to disarm themselves.
Yeah.
So why would you not protect yourself? And then she was like, I'm going to go home. And I was like, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
There's nothing hotter than just a left-leaning person who's very pro-gun.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so you have thought about things.
Yeah, exactly.
You understand the world we live in.
It's one of those things where I'm like, I mean, the thing is that I haven't been around guns a lot.
No, we gotta get you shooting.
Yeah, and that's what I just don't have all of the experience and knowledge to really have a super nuanced opinion. Other than I think people should own guns. I think gun ownership and gun culture in America has been poisoned by the right. And
they have a grip on it, and they're catering to it.
Yeah, and I wish that it was less. The idea of gun ownership was less politicized and more individualized. Like, it's not like you're not showing your political leanings just by owning a gun.
Exactly.
But but I do, especially like it makes sense. It's weird because it's like obviously I personally oppose hunting, but I don't oppose other people doing it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. It's a very weird to be like a lefty New York vegan.
It's funny that you like sat down and thought about it.
Yeah.
As opposed to, well, I'm gonna vote this way because I don't know who any of these people are.
Yeah, and I don't think it's one of those weird things where it's like I don't think, anyone's guns should get taken away. Obviously,
some people's guns.
Like yeah, but like
then it becomes a slippery slope.
That's the thing. Where it's like, and who am I to be the person to be like, I understand, I know whose guns should be taken away and who shouldn't.
Yeah.
But it's also like, do I think it's good when a bunch of, people get shot down in a mall or a bunch of kids get shot at a school? No. But I think it's an impossibility to, especially with the amount of guns that are in this country.
Yeah, there's like 2 or 3 guns for every human.
Yeah. So it's like, so if you ban guns, there's still going to be hundreds of millions of guns in the country.
It's so fun to think about how I think maybe like outside of like one little tiny country, like probably Qatar or something,
Yeah.
where the population is like 2,000, and
Yeah.
it's like a bunch of oil barons who like have gun collections of 4,000 each.
Yeah.
America in the world is like the highest concentration of guns.
Oh, for sure.
Which is like just like, oh, we're a nation of fucking cowboys.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
But it's because of, there's people with 700 guns.
Yeah.
And then there's people with none.
And there's people like me where I'm like, I got a handful.
Yeah, exactly.
I got a few.
And this thing where it's like I went shooting the beginning of last year, I think. Probably like a year ago now.
How much did you love it?
I loved it. I thought it was great. We were talking about it where it's like I went with Nick and we got an AR and a Glock 9mm handgun, and I loved the handgun shooting. He liked the rifle shooting.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just really fun. I really was like, if I had a lot more disposable income, I would get a handgun.
What's funny is guns are one of the like most stable investments you can make.
Yeah.
They're up there with like gold and silver.
But it's just the thing where I'm like, I don't have $400 to put down on a
Buddy,
handgun.
You can get a gun. I'll get you a gun for $150.
Yeah.
It won't be a good gun.
Yeah, that's the thing where I'm like, if I get like a new Glock 9mm, then I'm like, first of all, I can't have it in the city.
Not legally.
Yeah, of course not. I mean,
New York is like one of the strictest places.
Yeah.
For gun stuff.
So it's like a whole
sucks.
thing. Yeah, but I'm not. I don't know. It's an odd thing because I think intellectually and emotionally I feel two different ways. Intellectually, I think everyone should be able to do whatever they want.
Yeah. Very libertarian idea.
But emotionally, I do not trust people because of everything they've shown you.
Also, very libertarian idea.
Yeah.
I want to, like, hey, everyone should do what they want. I'm going to go in the cabin in the woods. Leave me alone.
That's the thing where I'm like, I think I would, like, if there was like you have to pick a thing. I'm like, there's a lot of things about libertarianism I don't align with. But I think it's because the more popular libertarians are the right-leaning ones, or the louder ones.
I think a lot of libertarians they're just fake right-wing guys.
Yeah.
Who are like, oh, I'm all for freedom, and then someone's like, okay, but what about a freedom for someone to change their gender? Whoa.
Yeah.
It's like, shut the fuck up. I'm for you. You gotta be for. You gotta be like a free speech absolutist, and then be cool with like left-leaning people being like, well, I think.
Yeah.
Like all that, and you're like,
yeah. So it's like
everyone has their
the
thing.
platonic.
Not me. You can't offend me.
No, the platonic ideal of libertarianism is like, I understand that, and it probably fits a lot with how I think of and believe in things, but I don't really like to be like, I don't know. I don't like to call myself anything politically because it's,
it's you could be a ton of things.
Exactly. But it's like, oh, should every single person have a handgun? No.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like everyone should have the right to.
No, everyone should be given one
handgun.
handgun.
But that's the thing,
and now we're all on equal playing field.
No, yeah.
I've talked about this before, where I think your government ID should be a gun.
It should be on a gun.
It was like you just got to pull it out. And
Who are you? And I'm like, here's my vaccine card.
Yeah, exactly. It's on my gun.
I'm getting into a restaurant.
Your ID, your vaccination status, everything is just on a gun you carry.
Yeah.
It's just one little thing.
Yeah.
It's so convenient. You can conceal or carry it open on your hip. Everyone would be nicer to each other. I think it would be very problematic for the first 6 months, and there would be a giant spike in shootings.
Yeah,
and then it would drop after all the people who get in the most shootings.
Yeah,
or just a lot of quick draws in the middle of noon.
Yeah, it's because there are people who actively want to do that.
Yeah, but I think those people, it's like a self-solving problem. You just gotta.
They all kill each other.
Exactly. You just gotta stay inside for 6 months.
Yeah.
And it'll
that's
level out.
That's the only like.
If we all chip in, it'll all level out.
Yeah.
If we all do it, what does that sound like?
But it's like the thing where it's like there's no way, because it's like, everyone has cell phones, and you see people with like cracked cell phone screens. You're like, that's how you shoot your phone. How are you gonna shoot your gun?
Oh yeah.
They won't ever clean it. They don't know how to use it properly.
Very good point. Well, none of it will work, so I'm going to a cabin in the woods.
That's the thing. None of it's going to work, and I don't think, it's like I think all people should be equal in their rights.
Yeah.
But I don't think all people are equal.
No.
As people.
No, some of us.
Some people are dumb as shit. some people are dumb as shit. Some people are ugly as shit. Some people are slow as shit.
I was gonna say some people are 4 feet tall and some people are 6'7".
Exactly.
It's like you just gotta you get born and you gotta figure out what you're gonna do with what you got.
Exactly.
And hopefully do the best with it.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people who overestimate their lot.
Hey, that's a skill.
Overestimating yourself?
If there's a lot of people we know, especially in comedy, who overestimate their abilities, and it's so funny how strong of an ability overestimating your ability can be. A lot of times it doesn't work. Sometimes it works phenomenally.
How much success you can get
just from being like, I'm the best, and you're like, what? And you're clearly not. You're like, I am the best, which is why I think America is the best, because we have so many people in America like, we're number one country, and then Europeans are like, but you're not number one. It's like, doesn't matter, we are.
Doesn't matter,
like,
pussy.
Yeah, but do
something about it.
Yeah, and they're like, but you're like, you're in the like, you don't even compete with third world countries in education. Doesn't matter, we're number one. And it's like, come at us, Europe. We're number one.
Yeah.
USA. So, I feel like if you like photography, guns are another very like thing, because there's like so many like different cameras you can own, different things you learn, very technical, very mechanical, very precise. Dude. Guns are almost like a secondary, they're like sister hobbies.
Yeah, but it's odd, and
you can combine them too.
I think the difference in, not everyone, but I feel like most gun owners are also like, up to a certain point, can do gun maintenance.
You think a lot of photographers
can't?
This is funny because
but a lot of cameras starting from 1995 on are electronic and not mechanical.
Yeah, and so mechanical cameras you'd have to like repair.
Well, both you can repair, but there are like certain cameras where there's like, oh, these parts fry out or stop working, and they just don't exist anymore. Because
buy a new one, like cars.
Yeah, because this camera does, like, they haven't made this camera in 20 years, so they don't make this part anymore. And you just are fucked.
You can't like 3D print or have someone custom make it for like a couple $100.
No, because it's like there'll be like a wire or like a cable inside that's only for this thing, and it's just like there's like there's like cameras that are like, this is the best, one of the best like compact 35mm cameras you can buy. But there is this thing that sometimes just disconnects inside of it, and once it disconnects, you're fucked.
It's done.
So you could buy it, and you could get 2,000 rolls out of this camera, or you could get 10, and then this thing snaps, but you don't know if it's gonna happen.
There's guns like that.
Yeah, but I'm saying like there are parts inside of, or like, because you don't have to worry about stuff like that in guns.
No, you do. I think I can't come off the top of my head. It'd be like a rare gun.
Yeah,
but there's only like a couple thousand of, and there was like in some war.
Yeah,
where it's like,
I guess
it's very enthusiast. What do you think is the?
But they're not like, those guns aren't the gun that you're gonna like everyday carry.
No, yeah.
So, but these cameras are like cameras that people would everyday carry and like shoot with.
Gotcha.
So it's like
hyper enthusiasts who know what and those guys exist in the gun world.
Yes, but I think the photographers who use those cameras can't fix them.
Gotcha.
Like, gun people, at least up to a certain point, can at least like you can pull apart your gun and clean it, and put it back together and make sure it works properly. Like, I can take the lens off my camera and like blow out some dust and clean it, but if like, say the shutter button disconnects inside, I can't pull it apart and reattach it.
I bet you could if you found a YouTube video on how to do it.
I've tried to. I had a camera that I dropped.
What's the camera? Maybe someone can message you.
It doesn't matter because I tried to fix it and completely broke it and tore everything apart.
I've done that with a gun before.
Yeah, you're just like, I fucked this up.
It was some like shitty $200 thing, and I'm like, well, I shouldn't have done that. Don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And now that I'm like older and like have machining jobs, I'm like, oh, I know what I did wrong.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the thing. So it's like, it's. I understand, like, gun enthusiasm as a concept, because I feel the same way about cameras and photography and stuff.
All like any kind of cool hobby.
Exactly, but it's the volatility of gun as a personality that is I think has soured people on the idea of gun ownership, because there are, say, like DSA gun groups.
Yeah, well, you're talking about Fudds, and that's the gunslinger.
Yeah.
Is Elmer Fudds.
Okay,
which is
yeah.
a guy who hell yeah, everyone should own a gun. Like not the way I'm saying.
No,
because
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
cool
yeah,
and self-aware.
yeah,
but
yeah.
like
those
types of people who are like I guess
fucking like not even like come and take it people, because I'm like, but like fucking like military green American flag with a rifle with a black rifle in the middle of it, patch on your hat, people. That shit.
What would you say is the AK-47 of cameras for someone who?
So what does that mean? Like
the AK-47, there's two main rifles and guns. There's the AR-15, which it can do anything you want to customize it to do.
Okay.
You can customize it to be short barrel, long barrel, all these little like things you can add on.
Yeah.
Like does whatever. Kind of finicky if you don't know what you're doing, but infinitely customizable. And there's the AK-47. You can't really customize it, but it will run no matter what.
Okay.
What would you say the cameras are of each?
Oh, that's really good. So the AR-15 is the customizable one, right?
Anything you want to do to make it yours, and it will do. But if you can fuck it up.
Yeah.
It could be a bad. Anyone can make them.
So I think for
someone wanting to get
because they're kind of the like I'm trying to think, because there's like the Leica M6 is an older film camera, really expensive still, but
just like hundreds of lenses,
and it's a rangefinder camera, which is like it's a different type of lens, it's a different type of focusing system. So it's for the next, like, it's not for a casual.
Yeah, it's not a beginner.
It's not for a beginner. It's for someone who knows what they're doing and wants a specific type. It's like every like street photographer who shot on film from like whenever the camera came out, the 50s or the 60s. Well, I don't know. Like, so Leica has been around for a long time.
Yeah.
They're like a Russian company or German, whatever the fuck they are. But they've had like iterations through. But the M6 is kind of the tipping point before they started moving into digital stuff also.
Okay.
So the M6 is my like dream camera because it is completely mechanical still, and like the body can take all these different lenses, and you can just like
you could make it for any situation.
You can make so you can get a longer lens. So that's the thing where it's like you can get a longer lens for shooting like zoom photos and shit. You can get and you can even get like different lengths of like, oh, this lens is a 28 millimeter, but it's flat against the camera, and like all this shit. So I think that might be the AR of the
camera world.
And then the AK-47 is like you can't do anything to it.
But it works everywhere.
It works, yeah.
No matter what you're doing, this gun is what you want.
That is. I'm sure it's like there's like some kind of digital camera, because I don't really know anything about. I don't know too much about digital cameras in general.
Would it just be like a Canon?
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, like, yeah. It's like all the Canon kind of digital stuff, but then like, or the Canon or the Nikon, any of that digital stuff. Or if you want to talk about like 35 millimeter, I mean, I shoot with I don't know, because photography shit is so like hyper specific for what you need for each.
If the sun's at this angle,
if
you're
or even
inside,
like,
outside,
or even if it's like
depending on the skin tone of the person you're shooting.
That has more to do with the film stock you're using.
But I mean, it's just
it's like,
so many variables.
It's so literally even like if the difference between taking a photo of someone from 3 feet away, and from 6 feet away is you would need like depending on what you want, completely different lenses,
different cameras, different lighting.
Yeah. So it's like I guess like because it's the thing where it's like with zoom lenses. You're sacrificing quality.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you sacrifice quality for versatility? So maybe there are some like, Olympus zoom. Like I use an Olympus Stylus Epic is the camera I shoot on. And it's pretty good for most things until you want to get to like super high quality stuff or like something you need a long lens for. So
there's no AK.
No, I don't think there is. I think there is maybe like the.
You heard it here. It was just a disposable camera.
Just yeah. an iPhone 13 Plus Max.
Hey, that's what I got. Oh wait, is there one of those?
The Max, I think, is just the big one.
Oh, it's the big one. I got the normal. Well, thank you for more memorializing Shayne once again.
Yeah,
for joining us.
Rest in peace to Shayne.
Thank you for teaching us a little about photography.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to plug? Anything coming up?
You can listen to my podcast, A Little Time.
I was on that. I was on your Patreon.
Mac
episode.
was on our Patreon. We have a Patreon now. We just launched it January 1st, 2022.
What is that? Patreon.com/a-little-time-pod. And you can listen to their free episodes.
It's everywhere you get podcasts. And if you are listening to this week, this is the middle of January 2022. If you live in the Philadelphia area, February 2nd, I'll be headlining the Philadelphia Punchline.
Oh, nice. Go to that.
Yeah, so go to that. And then, I don't know, whatever. I'll be on tour. You'll probably hear me a million times, but I'll be on tour with Shayne this year.
We'll be around.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Cool.
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Whatever you shoot, guns, cameras.
Yeah.
Have fun doing it.
Exactly.
Yeehaw.
And do it right in someone's face.